Alright, so today in TinkerCAD we're going to learn how to make a pumpkin using some basic skills that we already know how to use, but we're going to use them in a little bit different way, and I'm going to show you guys how to use that align tool and a couple keyboard shortcuts on how to rotate things a little bit easier. So this is what it'll look like when we're done. Obviously you can make yours shorter, fatter, taller, whatever you want, but we'll go over that more at the end. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and take this, we're going to move it over out of the way. We're going to rotate the camera so we're looking at the blue work plane in kind of more of a diamond shape. Once you get that done, we're going to go over here, we're going to go down into characters, because we're going to go down and select the egg. So this is going to turn into the body of our pumpkin. But the reason why we wanted to rotate the work plane is because we want to be able to see this rotation arrow right here. So we're going to hold shift because that will make it easy because it'll jump 45 degrees. If we don't hold shift, then we can rotate it 1 degree at a time. We don't want to do that. So we're going to hold shift, rotate it 90 degrees. With the skinny side facing the back of the work plane. You can tell that that's the back because it says work plane down here. Once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and reset that work plane by clicking the home button. Once that is done, let's move that over just a little bit. Once that is done, we're going to duplicate this. So you can do that by either clicking on duplicate up here, or you can click Control D like it tells you in green right there. So we're going to click Control D. Again, hold Shift, click on this rotation arrow, and we're going to rotate it to the left 45 degrees. Very important that you go to the left for this next step, okay? After that, you're going to click the left arrow on your keyboard 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you will click the up arrow on your keyboard 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason why we do that is because it's going to get us the setup and the distance we want from both sections of the pumpkin like you would have here. That's what we just did here, because now when we go ahead and hit duplicate again, it will auto rotate that piece of the pumpkin all the way around until we complete it. Okay. And to give you guys a reference on how many times you're going to do that, you already created these two, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more that you need to make. Really easy. All you got to do is hit that Control D or that duplicate button, and it will rotate it all the way around for you. Once you get to here, you want to select all of these shapes. Make sure that you don't have this one in there because you don't have it yet. You want to select all of these shapes. We're going to group them together. So you can either click group up here or Control G. For my preference, I'm going to change it to an orange pumpkin because pumpkins are normally orange. And then we need to add a stem to make it complete. So from here, we're going to go up to basic shapes. Scroll down till you see the paraboloid. Click on that one. We want to flip that 180 degrees. So you have two ways of doing this. Either you can do it by clicking this rotation arrow, you can hold shift and rotate it that way. Or another tool that we really haven't used a whole lot is you have the mirror tool up here, where you can click on that. Notice how it came up with these arrows. If you click on this one that is pointing up and down, it will flip it on that Z axis to where it is now rotated 180 degrees for you. So kind of a different tool that we haven't really used a whole lot. But it does come in handy. So once we get that done, we want to exit out of the flip tool. So if you're in that mirror or flip tool, it will still have these arrows. The easiest way to get out of it, click anywhere else on the work plane and then click on that object again. So now we want to move it up along the Z-axis. So again, you have two ways of doing this. You can either grab this black arrow and move it up this way, or you can hold Control and then use the up and down arrows on your keyboard and it will raise it as well. So obviously it did not go up far enough. We want to bring it up some more. So we got it pretty close to centered here. To really make sure that it's in the center, we're going to highlight all of it, click that align tool. It's right here. You are going to hit the center here and hit the center here, and it is now perfectly centered in the middle of your pumpkin. Once you're done with that, go ahead and click anywhere on the work plane, then click back on the paraboloid. We're going to change that into a brown stem, and then we want to lower it down because right now it looks kind of funny. We're going to lower that down and make it a nice height for the stem. Once you have that done, go ahead and select both shapes. Should say shapes 2. You're going to group those together. It's going to change it to orange or the whole pumpkin to brown. It went orange. To get that back, we're going to go down here and click on multicolor. So the way I got there was I clicked on solid, then clicked on multicolor, and it brought it back. So if you'll notice, that pumpkin is not sitting all the way down the work plane. Easiest way to do that is you have a keyboard shortcut to do that, where all you gotta do is hit the D button on your keyboard and it will drop it down onto the work plane for you. So once you're done with that, then from here you can go through and make that pumpkin however you want it to look, whether you want it to be kind of short and flat, if you want it to be smaller but still kind of round, or in this case oval. There we go. Or you want it to be tall and skinny. It is completely up to you. The purpose of this lesson was just for you to learn how to use some of these keyboard shortcuts, and then use this mirror tool and the align tool, because we haven't used those a whole lot. So go ahead and give that a shot. Make sure you rename it into Pumpkin, and I will go through and make sure that you did it correctly. I'll leave you some notes if there's any improvements that I can find. So good luck and have fun.